We have seen the deadliest 24 hours for Israeli troops since they launched their ground offensive on the Gaza Strip. What we understand is there were Israeli troops inside of 2 buildings. They were planting explosives to bring the building down to try to get rid of a potential sniper nest or any other cover for militants there. Now, while they were planting these explosives, the Israeli military says that there was a militant attack that saw someone fire a rocket-propelled grenade at a tank that was supposedly providing those troops cover. In the ensuing explosion, somehow the explosives that were inside that building detonated, bringing the building down and killing some 21 Israeli troops. Meanwhile, a separate attack killed 3 more, so that made it 24 dead in that 24-hour period. And it just really shocked Israel. And we saw people looking in shop windows today at televisions, looking at the news, some clearly shocked at what they saw. And it puts new pressure on the government of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. There's been criticisms inside of his war cabinet that there needs to be a ceasefire to try to get those hostages out of Gaza out. And, you have to keep that death toll in relation to what we've seen from the Palestinian side. Since this war began, 25,000 Palestinians have been killed in the Gaza Strip. Some 2 million more have been displaced. A lot of them have moved south to Khan Yunis, south to Rafah. As of right now, the Israeli military says they've surrounded Khan Yunis as part of their ongoing operation, and this offensive is continuing despite those casualties and despite new negotiations. We don't have clear understanding of what these negotiations are between Hamas and Israel. They appear to be being mediated by Qatar as well as Egypt. They negotiated and helped mediate this past agreement in November that saw dozens of Israeli hostages freed for prisoners in Israeli jails, as well as about a week-long ceasefire that stopped the fighting. This time around, we understand that the Israelis have offered a 2-month pause that would see, again, a swap of hostages for prisoners, but Hamas has rejected this. Hamas's position has been the same for weeks now, which is the Israelis must end the offensive, must end their airstrikes, and pull all their troops out of the Gaza Strip before any prisoners will be released. Again, that's just putting even more pressure on the Netanyahu government and the hardliners who are with him. We've seen hostage families come into the Israeli parliament. We've seen them camp outside of Netanyahu's home. We've seen them have mass demonstrations calling on him to do more, to have a ceasefire, to get their loved ones out. But as of right now, there's no agreement, and without any agreement, this war looks like it will continue on. I'm Jon Gambrell with the Associated Press for CGTN in Jerusalem.